it feels like we're, as a society, trying to find the balance between, being connected in ways that we never were before in history, which is just magical to me. Like all of my favorite people I found on the internet. And also being connected in real life too. Like how, like, what's the balance? What's the mix of all of that? I still feel like we're trying to find it.
Hi there, and welcome to the Chaotic Business Podcast, where we do things a little bit different. I'm not about to give you the perfect business blueprint or tell you how many times to post on Instagram this week, because frankly, I don't think that's what makes good business owners successful. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be plenty of strategy here on this podcast, but it'll be more inspirational and less prescriptive, because you didn't start your own business just for somebody to tell you what to do. Welcome to the Chaotic Business Podcast. Let's get started. Hello, Andrea. How are you doing?
I'm good, Megan. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Of course. I'm so thrilled to have you, the podcast queen herself.
Yay.
I love your podcast. For anyone listening, go check out, remind me the podcast name now. It's Mindful Marketing.
Yes, Mindful Marketing Podcast on every podcasting app.
Love it. Yeah. Sorry. I feel bad. I'm like, I love your podcast. What's the name? But ADHD.
That's okay. And we did rebrand it from the Savvy Social podcast. If you look up Savvy Social, you'll still find us.
Perfect. Okay. Well, welcome to the show. I am so excited for us to talk about chaos in your business and parenting and entrepreneurship and social media, all of the things. But first, let's just let the people get to know you a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your business, and maybe for funsies, like one fun thing that you've eaten, drank, or listened to lately?
Oh, okay. Okay, so a bit about me. My name is Andrea Jones. I'm a marketing strategist, and I'm all about simpler, smarter marketing for busy people. That changed for me when I had kids, which I know we'll get into, but I started blogging in 2004. I started my YouTube channel in 2007. I've owned my business since 2014. So I've been like creating content online in some format for a long time, basically like an internet granny over here. And so these days I'm in marketing education. So I do that through my program and through teaching workshops and speaking, and on my podcast. And I'll say one thing that I have loved listening to recently is I'm in a huge audiobook phase. This is mostly because of my kids, okay? Because like they're 3 and 1. So now they get the one nap. They're both down to one nap in the day. So I feel like I have like a small enough chunk of time to do basically housework before they're back up again. And I started listening to audiobooks during that time, and I am loving it. I'm a huge reader anyways, but I'm loving it because it feels like I can still read. And so I've been listening to the Monstrous series by Lily Mayne, which it's a queer romance, like fantasy romance novel series where it's like post-apocalyptic monsters like taking over the world, but all the pairings are like human monster like relationship. So they have to like deal with like the different cultural differences. It's like, I'm obsessed. And if you don't, I have to always preface this, like it's explicit adult content. Like that's the other thing. Don't listen to it and be like, oh, I didn't know, Andrea. It's explicit, but it is so like, she's such a good writer. It's so fun. And it's Michael Leslie, who narrates it, does like different character voices, like monster character voices. It's like so fun. It's so fun. Highly recommend it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes. I love that. And we're going to take a slight detour to talk about romance and smut for just a minute, because you also write romance, don't you?
I do. Yes. I published my first book this year, and the second one's coming out next month. I've been a huge reader for years and years. And then my friend, Meg Casebolt, published her first book last year. And so I got to like watch her go through the publishing process and was like, oh, I could probably do that. So I started writing a bunch, and then I published my first one, and I still have like so much that I want to like write, but it's so fun.
Okay, without giving away, what exactly your book is, because I know that's kind of something you keep on the DL business-wise. What is your book about? The one that's out already?
Yeah, well, it's about social media. Like,
amazing.
It's like these influencers basically who find each other through various means and like fall in love. But I created a fake social media app where, a lot of the content is created. And so I was able to like play a lot with like the dynamics and a lot about what I don't like about social media, what I do like about it because it's my job. But one of the create content creators is like a meditation, like deep rumbly voice kind of guy, and the other one is like a children's party entertainer. He's like a fake Spider-Man, like
Okay.
absolute chaos, like gremlin over here. And so then they meet and they fall in love, and it's like I had so much fun writing it, honestly. And yes, it is spicy. I always have to warn people because my mom-in-law was like, "Oh, I'm not a prude," and then she couldn't finish it. She gave it back to me. She's like, "You're a good writer, but I could not finish this." And I'm like, "Thank you. That's like the best testimonial ever."
Yes,
Like,
it is. You should
yes,
put that everywhere.
yeah, it's so fun.
Not your mother-in-law's romance book is
No,
how
not for
you.
mom, not for the mom-in-law. No.
Oh my goodness. I am working on a novel that's like a sapphic romance with like light fantasy elements, and I'm very excited.
Oh
So
my
we'll have to
gosh.
geek out
Okay.
about book stuff.
Yes.
But
Sidebar.
okay.
We'll share.
Yes. Business. Chaotic business podcast. We're going to talk, it's going to be chaotic. Let's just be real. So let's dive into the parenting aspect because I know that's a huge source of chaos for so many business owners out there, not just you and me. Like my kids are home today. Excellent, perfect timing. Like, why? And it's my own fault. It's personal chaos because I accidentally let their medical forms expire for daycare. So they're like, hey, they can't come until they have new forms. And
Oh
the
my God.
doctor's
You just
office,
reminded me.
yeah, write that down. But the doctor's office is taking their sweet time filling out this form. And so they've been home the last couple of days. Which is fine. It's my own fault. I'm the one who let it expire. But also, they could move with some haste.
You think? No, literally just wrote down vaccines because I have to put, like, here in Canada, healthcare obviously is covered, but to go to daycare, you have to have vaccines. Or if you opt out of vaccine, you have to have a note from your doctor. I
Okay.
have not uploaded those forms to the online portal, and you just reminded me. I have them. I have them. Just missing the last step. So there we go. That's my
Isn't that
chaos.
always the way? It's like we get 99% of the way there, and it's like
Yeah.
that 1% trips us up.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's like the definition of having kids. So my kids are 3 and 1, and my first kid was actually an easy baby. I didn't realize she was kind of chill as a baby. She's totally 180 now, and she's like a little, let's say she has a lot of leadership energy,
Amazing.
which I love for her when she's an adult. Right now, it's very challenging.
Yes.
And my second baby was just like, I don't care whatever my oldest sibling did. I'm doing something completely different. And she just was colicky and like cried for the first 6 months. And so, yeah, it was very like first baby, I was like, oh, I can continue running my business. Second baby, I was like, I have to make huge changes because she literally will just scream unless I'm holding her. So that was fun.
Oh my goodness. My twins were colicky. Like you said, they just screamed for the first like 6 months. And yeah, I had to change a lot about how I did business because I started getting a lot of comments about like the screaming in the background.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
People, it was interesting. Some people were just like, oh my goodness, baby is in the background, so cute. But a lot of people made a lot of assumptions. A lot of people
Oh.
assumed I was the primary parent and therefore I should be with my babies. And what am I doing making a TikTok? And I'm like, well, actually, this is how I feed my babies. So, like, but some
Yeah.
people were like accusing me of emotional neglect, and like it was pretty intense for a little while. So
Wow.
yeah, it can be balancing colic and business, especially can be
Yep.
tricky.
Yeah, no, I could so like baby would be with her dad and I have we were he works in real estate, so like we have a pretty flexible schedule, right? So and this was before he started the radio station. So he would be upstairs. It like her room is directly above my office, like trying to put her down for a nap. And I can like hear her screaming through the floors. And I'm on a call. Thankfully, my mic doesn't pick up a lot of background noise, but I was so distracted because, human instinct, like my brain is like, baby's alert, alert. And I'm like, she's fine. Like I literally am arguing with myself while also trying to run a meeting. It was a lot.
Right. And I don't know if you breastfed, but like your milk comes in when you hear them scream half the
Yeah.
time. And so, like, that is hard. You're like trying to wear a million pads so you don't have any issues on a call.
Oh God. Yeah, no, I have low iron, so I was never able to breastfeed for the first one, and for the second one, I just didn't even try.
Yeah.
Which again, total different set of issues. Like it's actually there's like a couple weeks where it's really challenging because your body's trying to basically produce milk and you're like, no, thank you. And it's like painful. It's painful. But no, I didn't breastfeed with either of them really. So
No, neither did I. My milk just never came in like at all. My mom was like, so even when they cry, nothing, and I'm like, nothing. And she's like, that's weird. And I was like, I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. So with this was the challenge with my first kid. I was trying to do it, right? Because all the books say
Of course.
just breast is best, just breastfeed. And I like, so I'm thinking something's wrong with me. I went to like several different lactation consultants and they recommend triple feeding, which is you put the baby on your boob, which she got like a sip and then she was like, this is annoying. And so then you give her the bottle and I'm pumping after
Hmm.
giving her the bottle. By the time I do that entire process, it's time to feed her again. Like,
Yes.
and I didn't even have time to like clean the pumping materials, clean the bottle. And I'm like, I did that for 3 months and she was a chill baby too. And I was like, I can't do this
No.
anymore. Like, I tried so hard and produced so little milk that it was
Nothing.
like impossible. Eating like they have all I bought all the food. You eat all the special food to help your I couldn't it didn't work for me. So I tried it though, but no.
Oh yeah, my husband got 2 weeks off of work, and so for both babies, or for both pregnancies, I guess there's three babies because twins, but for both pregnancies, for the first week I tried, and then it wasn't working, and we were like, well, we need to get some sort of routine down. I know a week isn't that long to give it a shot, but like I need to have my routine before he leaves to go back to
Yeah.
work, you know? And so yeah, it was just not gonna happen for us either.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of those things too where I think it does depend on your kid. Like I know there like I've read all the books, listened to all the podcasts, but at the end of the day, it was like with my first kid, I was able to work during naps or like strap her to me and like
Yeah.
take a call or whatever. With my second kid, it was literally impossible. And so I had to change things so that it could fit around whatever schedule and so that if she like literally planning my call so that she would be asleep, I could put her to sleep because I was the only one who could do it. She would just scream for everyone else. So I would put her to sleep and then have that short window of time to do my calls. And then she'd be awake again. So
Exactly. I stayed home with my first for the first until he was probably 2 or almost 3. And so when I had the twins, I was like, okay, there's 2 of them, so I probably can't do it quite as long because by the end, the last year my son was home, we really needed a better solution. We were just working toward it. So I was like, I could probably keep them home for a year. We hit about the 3-month mark, and I was like, this is not working. There's
yeah.
2 of them. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
You
I can't
know?
even imagine too. And I think that yeah, it's like such a challenging thing and I think that it's really illuminated to me the business model that I want to have. So,
Yeah.
okay, so previously to having kids, I thought I'd be one of those moms who was like, "Oh, I'm not going to like rearrange my whole life for my kids." Like
Okay.
that was my thinking going into it. I was like, "I want to be, like strong, independent woman. Like I can do it all." And then I had kids and like something flipped in my brain that I'm still working on with my therapist, just being okay with this, which is my kids are the most important thing to me, whereas my business used to be one of the most important things to me. And it's very challenging for me to like reconcile that in my mind because I will give up my business in a heartbeat now for my kids. Whereas before having them, that thought would have been like, oh no, that's weird. That seems extreme, right? Now I'm like, I don't care. Like everything else can come after my kids. And so it's like this weird switch that happened after I have kids that made me get really super focused on having a business, yes, but having one that fits in with the life with kids, especially since I'm like the default parent.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I think it's so interesting because like I'm one of 4, and 2 of my 3 siblings have their own children, and we all are like so different about how we've rearranged or not rearranged our lives. Like, I would have thought my brother would have been like super like rearrange everything. And he really hasn't. He's like, we just make it work with the kids. We just bring the kids to everything and like everything we can, and it's fine. And I'm like, that's amazing. Whereas like me and my husband, we have rearranged everything to have children. Like that's just the best for my mental health, especially. I feel like my husband could probably swing just about anything. He's a very stable dude. But like for me, like it's just better if we just make a lot of changes and shifts. So I'm super curious what some of the business shifts you've made that have been helpful to you.
Yeah. So the biggest one for me is I sold my agency.
Yeah.
So this was this month last year was when we wrapped up the sale of the agency. And I knew, so my baby was born in March of 2024. I knew by June that I couldn't keep running the agency. Like for a lot of different reasons too. The market changed in the past couple of years. We have AI now, and then there's a lot of our clients who can frankly just do the same thing faster with AI or get a similar output. At least they're romanced by that idea. They're
Yes.
romanced by that idea, I should say. We have the economic kind of like downturn after the post-pandemic world that some small businesses are suffering. They don't have the PPP loans floating them anymore. And then the state of the world is like, it's so politicized now that it can be very challenging for businesses to use social media to market their business. So all of those things combined, my business was actually smaller than it was the previous year, which I had my biggest year in business ever with my first kid. We almost had $1 million in revenue that year. I had 12 people on my team. We had all of our clients. It was great. And then second baby, and I was like, literally, I can't do this anymore. Our list was like half the size. And so I wrote out like a full breakdown of what I knew I could do to flip my business back and like get it profitable again. And I sat looking at this list and I was like, I don't want to do any of this, nor
Yes.
do I have the time or mental capacity to do this. Like even like the idea of it was exhausting to me. And so in July, I sat down with my team and I said, listen, I'm going to start preparing to sell the agency. I don't want anyone to be surprised. If this isn't for you, like out of respect to you, because we've been working together for some of my team members, I've been working together for 8 years at that point. Like out of respect to you, start looking for another job. And like whoever I sell it to, like you will have the option to go work with them too. But I want to like give you all a heads up. After that meeting, two of my team members came up to me and they said, hey, actually, can we buy the agency like before you list it? Yeah. So
What?
yeah, yeah. So
What a
it was
dream
like,
position to be in.
I know. I thought it'd take a long time. Like selling a business takes a long time, right? And especially because my business is my name. So essentially I was selling our client list, our processes, and like all of our training material and like my team. So I was selling everything but my name, basically.
Yeah.
So I knew it'd be hard to sell. And then I was like, oh, this is way easier for me. And so I was able to sell it. It only took a couple of months. I sold the agency and then, yeah, I focused on the marketing education side of the business, which I needed at that time because I didn't know I was going through postpartum depression and anxiety
Oof.
until after all of that. And my husband was like, hey, so you should just ask your doctor about this. And so I did. And yeah, she was like, I filled out, they have a little questionnaire. I like filled it out, like laughing to myself, like these questions are silly. She's like, okay, so you have a pretty severe anxiety and a moderate depression. So we're going to start you immediately on some SSRIs to balance this out. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay,
Great.
question for you.
Yeah.
When you were going through this anxiety and depression and didn't even really realize it, and you were selling the agency at the same time, is that right?
Yep.
Woof.
Yep.
Okay, that's a lot. But my question is, how did you like trust yourself that this was the right decision and not just like depressed you, like making a depressive decision?
Well, I didn't know I was depressed when it was
Okay.
happening. So I didn't start taking SSRIs until about 6 months after that
Okay.
decision.
Okay.
So it probably was. My baby was, so when I started the sale, 3 months old. When we finished, she was 6 months old.
Hmm.
Um,
And she
so I
was
was,
colicky for those first 6 months.
she was
Oh, and the
called, yeah,
colic makes the depression so much harder.
so much. I didn't even realize it. Cause like as moms, we just do what we have to do.
Right.
Right. Like we don't have a choice. Like the baby's got to eat. They can't
Hmm.
like wallow in filth. Like we just do it. And so selling the agency, I think now like looking back was a good move. I feel like I could have done it better. Because like I didn't really negotiate the price. I was just like, I need this done.
Yeah.
I didn't even list it for sale. Like maybe I could have got better offers, whatever. I was just like, I need out like immediately.
Yeah.
And then after I didn't have any plans. This is when I started writing. So that was like my outlet was like, I need something that's like so far removed from my kids. It's so far into fantasy that it's not real life because I feel really bad about my real life.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't really working that much in that time. And I didn't even realize I was depressed until my husband pointed it out. Because I wasn't doing anything, and like the anxiety, I was like just so worried about everything, you know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I am both fortunate and unfortunate in the sense that I don't really get postpartum depression or anxiety, which is lovely and I'm very thankful for. And also um I'm depressed and anxious the rest of the time. It seems like pregnancy
Oh,
hormones are very good for me, which is great. I'll take it. Um might be having another kid. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, but yeah, I just think it can be so hard to tell when we're making a decision from a place of like, I'm depressed right now and we're making a long-term decision that maybe we won't be happy with down the line versus like, okay, I'm depressed right now and also this is making it worse. So regardless of it's good, whether or not it's a good decision down the line, this is what I need right now to make things are never getting better unless this changes, you know?
Yep, absolutely. Like I do feel like I could have done it better. And like part of me wishes I hung on to like a client or two because now I'm in like a little bit of a scramble mode. Like the money
Sure.
from the sale is gone and my business, like I'm still recovering from all of this. It's
Of
like
course.
only 2 weeks my youngest has been into daycare. So I've only been at my desk for like 2 weeks. And so, there's stuff that I wish I could do. And I do think it was the best decision that I could have made at the time.
Yes.
And I honestly wish I had done it went earlier, like when I was in a better frame of mind, even while I was pregnant, would have been better
Mhm.
than waiting until like I had a colicky baby screaming in my ear, you know?
Yes. Okay. Another question for you. How do you have your own back like that? I think that's awesome. And like, do you have any tips for people listening for like, just having your back on the decisions you make?
Therapy. And also, okay,
Yes.
so therapy has helped a lot, like immeasurably. And I've done it off and on over the years. I've never had as much, like, I've never gone as frequently as I have now,
Sure.
like exiting out of like the postpartum depression anxiety. I really just needed that space.
Yes.
And also, I am a glass half full person. Okay.
Okay.
This is like my Achilles heel because is it Achilles heel or Achilles tendon?
I think it is his tendon, but the phrase is Achilles heel.
Okay. Listen, I look at everything with glass half full, like rose colored glasses, like nothing can go wrong. So this is my downfall and it is like my superpower because I just go into everything like it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And this is how my husband kind of picked up on I was depressed because I wasn't that. I was just like, this is awful. Everything is terrible. I hate you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, this isn't like you. Cause I'm usually like, everything is wonderful. I love everyone. Let's party. Like that's just my natural state. And so now I can look back and go, that was great, great for me. And I'm thinking about making more changes in my business coming up. And I'm like excited about it because that's just how I look at things. It has bit me in the butt a few times, but for the most part, I'm like, even if I do make a mistake, I'd rather go through it with that energy than whatever the opposite of that is.
Yes. My mom calls it her we are peasant folk mentality. Uh, I come from a long line of German peasants, and her mentality is like, we are peasant folk. And she uses it to explain all kinds of stuff, like the fact that a lot of my family were overweight. She's like, great, we're meant to hold on to our weight so we survive the winter. Like, next, moving on. Or like,
Yes.
basically, we are peasant folk when she says it means if you're not dead, it's not over. Keep going. You got this. And I'm just like,
Yes.
yeah, I can get behind that, you know?
Yeah. 100. Oh, I love that. 100%. And I think that's it, right? It's like, so talking to people like my mom or my grandmother is so illuminating too, because my challenges are like so minuscule compared to those of my ancestors. Like basic things. Like I'm talking to my mom about how my 3-year-old is in dance class now. I ordered the wrong dance shoes on Amazon, literally ordered the next size the next day. Like that would be a whole trip out with both kids for my mom, right? And I'm like, I didn't have to leave my house. I was able to do it. And so I feel like it's little things like that where I'm like, this is amazing. Like, especially as a Black woman, there's never been a better time. Like, obviously, there's a lot of issues still. I'm not diminishing those at all. And also, I can have a job. I can choose whether I want to have kids or not. You know what I mean? Like, I can choose to be married, even married to a white man, like my husband is. Like, all of those things go back 60 years would be very challenging. So, that's part of it too, is I'm like, like I feel so privileged to even be able to do this that it helps fuel me a little bit when I'm feeling down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, just thinking back to like our grandmothers not being able to have a bank account and like all this stuff, or like it's funny because I think there are times I try to talk to like my older aunts or my grandma about what I do, and there's like a very blank look, which is fine. Um, but I think I tend to be more of a glass half empty kind of person. So it's really like nice to hear you be like, well, isn't that such a gift that they have a blank look? Like,
Mhm.
wouldn't it be sad if there had been no progress in between their lives and
Um,
ours, you know? So that's actually a beautiful reframe for me. So thank you.
yes, my therapist says it's my survival tactic. So that's how I get through the day is I'm like living my head in the clouds, like, everything's fine. And you know what? I'd rather be here. Okay.
Yes. Okay, question for you. Do you know
Yeah.
your Enneagram type?
Yes, I'm a 2.
Two. See, I would have guessed maybe a seven because seven's survival tactic is to like cling to the things that bring them joy. And
Mm,
so but I also totally see the two. You're such a
yeah.
helper,
I just want to
obviously.
help everybody. Yeah, I just want to, especially my relationships. I'm a 2. Sometimes when I take the test, I end up with 9.
Mm,
Um,
peacekeeper. That makes sense.
yeah,
Peacekeeper and
where I'm like,
helper have a lot in common.
they do. So I guess I go back and forth, but I just want like I'm a Libra too. I just want everyone to like let's keep the peace, let's have fun.
Yes. I am a type four. I really want to be special so bad.
Mm, there you go.
Yep, that's my thing. Well, one other aspect I wanted to make sure we got a chance to talk about is your sort of newer involvement in local businesses, because I know
Yes.
this is an online podcast. We both have online businesses. Like, tell me what you're doing with local businesses because I love
Yeah.
this idea.
Yeah. So this is also like remnants of pandemic life and then having kids. So pre having kids, like pre 2020, I would travel a lot for work. I was going to speak at conferences, little things that added up, right? Then the pandemic happened. Then I had my first kid in 2022. And for context, here in Canada, the like closures did not stop until early 2023.
Yes.
Like we literally, opened up a purse the other day. We had to carry cards with us to be able to go sit in a restaurant and show that we were vaccinated. It's like this is like end of the like it's wild that
Yeah.
like we don't even know the ramifications of all this. Anyways, I digress. So then I had kids, and then now I'm on the other side of that, and I'm like, I know I'm pretty introverted. Even though I love people, peopling too much, like I can't do it all the time.
Mm.
And I'm craving like more tangible closeness with
Mm.
people. not children. Like
Sure.
I get my fill with my kids and everyone else's kids. I'm sorry, your kids are terrible.
Of
Um,
course.
and so I've been craving this like in-person dynamic. And so I've been on the hunt for like some in-person clients. I just got one recently that is it's just so fun to even be able to like let's have a coffee meeting. Like what? I never had this before. And so it's just a lot of fun for me. And then the second piece of it too is my husband started a radio station and I get to like see the inner workings of like what small town living is. And I have fallen in love with our small town. I live in Fort
Yeah.
Erie, Ontario, which is like near Niagara Falls. We're about 20 minutes away from Niagara Falls, just across the border from Buffalo, New York. So it's like I'm close enough that Buffalo's 30 minutes away, Toronto's 2 hours away, but where I live is so small and quaint, and I feel like I'm in a freaking Hallmark movie. And this was the SSRIs at work. Like I started taking them, and then I'm like looking around, like everything's so beautiful. Like why don't more people come visit here? Why don't we have more tourists here? You know, like it's like idyllic. We're in between both of the lakes, like Lake Ontario, Lake Erie. It's beautiful. So I'm like, I want more people to know about this. So I'm going to make it my mission to like bring more people here. And I do come from a hospitality background, like pre starting this business, I used to work in these hotel space and then in spas. And so I'm just like, I'm bringing all of that back and I'm trying to find ways to highlight my small town.
That's amazing. I love that. I saw a couple of your reels talking about your small town, and I was like, this is like Gilmore Girls. This is so cute.
Yes, it is. It's very, I want like, why don't we have that? And like, we also have the drama too. And I'm always
Ooh.
like, oh, okay, tell me more. And people will just tell you, honestly, as soon as I stopped being an introvert and started talking to people, I realized I get so much drama. So now I go into like my coffee shops and I'm like, so tell me what's new. Like, did you see what so and so posted? And they're like, oh my gosh, yes. So it's been fun.
I feel like so many people right now, with the way politics are going globally, the rise of fascism and all of that stuff. I feel like a lot of people are craving in-person community, but aren't sure how to get started, especially those of us who are more introverted or autistic or anything like that. Like, do you have any tips for like what got you out of your shell to start with?
Yeah, so I just started going to the same place a few times.
Okay.
And I think this is okay. So I used to live in big cities. Like I lived in Atlanta and then I lived in Toronto before I lived here. And there is a beauty in feeling anonymous that I really liked, where you could go into a place and like enjoy it and then leave and like no one bothered you and they didn't like call you out or really even notice you, right? Like it just kind of blended in. Whereas I noticed here, and I stand out, like there's not a lot of black people here. So I stand out like automatically. But then I started noticing I was going to the same places over and over. And then, you know, the coffee shop owner would be like, oh, your usual? And I'd be like, my usual. Wow, don't I feel special? So you as a four, you would love this. Like,
Oh, absolutely. I would be
yeah,
so about that.
yeah. So like I started noticing that. But honestly, my cheat code has been my husband. Like, get you an extroverted partner, a friend, even. Like, all of my friends are extroverts. They just take me with them. And I literally have to explain, like, I will hardly ever initiate anything. So if you just say, hey, Andre, are you free? I'm probably going to be like, yeah, let's make it work. But I don't initiate, like, I'm not an initiator. So now that I know that about myself, I just look for opportunities where people are initiating and then I just try to reciprocate that. I will say though, it still doesn't always work out. And if you meet another introvert, you may think they hate you. Like
Mm.
I, there's a one particular, I'm going to try to be general because in case she hears this, but there's one particular place I went into and the interaction was just, it was two introverts. We didn't know what to say. We didn't know what to do. I was like, for sure she hates me. And then I was telling my husband about it later and he was like, no, that's just how she is. And now we talk all the time. Like I just, because he gave me that feedback, I didn't let it stop me from going there. And now like, okay, I can't say too much, but now we just talk all the time. And so
Yeah.
it's like one of those things too, where I feel like we assume the worst about someone else. Like we assume they don't want to talk to us or hear from us. And so like just like the assuming the best thing has helped. But listen, I'm still bad at it. I'm still like I went to a networking event last week, literally went, found my friend and said, I'm feeling very shy right now. Like, I'm just going to stand next to you. And so I just stood next to her and didn't talk to anyone for a minute. And then she, like, someone else came into the group and she was like, hey, have you met Andrea? And like, she initiated the conversation for me because I was like, I can't do it right now. So yeah, find you an extroverted friend is my advice.
Well, I like find an extroverted friend, but also I really like how you were saying like we tend to assume the worst, like we assume people are judging us and stuff like that. I don't always have that like social anxiety piece, but I am autistic and I tend to like I don't know when people want a conversation and when they don't. Like those cues, I can't tell. And once we start talking, I don't know how long they want to talk. And I'm always like, when do we end? How do we end? I don't know. And so I like that idea though of just going into it. Assume they want a conversation. If they don't, they'll let you know. You're good at picking up on the goodbye cues. You're just not always good at picking up on the hello cues. So let's assume hello and wait till they give you a goodbye. I think I can work with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I think for me too, it really is just craving human interaction in a way that I've never have before because I've been online for so long and the little like micro interactions make such a big difference to me. Like I went into the gas station one time and the guy behind the counter, I was like, I swear he's flirting with me. All he did was say, I like your shirt. I went home and I talked about that for days with my husband. He was like, can we stop with the gas station guy now? And I'm like, but he said he liked my shirt. Like it's just like sometimes those little human interactions where I'm like, Gilmore Girls is a perfect analogy for this because it's like, we want to feel included, like we're in on whatever's happening.
Yeah, and I think in-person interactions are really, really good for us right now, especially because we've been so isolated and like so online for so long. Like sometimes I will get so swept up in something that's happening in the online zeitgeist, and then I go out into the world and I have like a normal conversation, and I'm like, oh, wait, this is what it's about. I forgot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and especially because I see, like, I feel like my job is scrolling to the bottom of the internet, so I feel like I see so much of like just the nastiness that people put online and all the good stuff too. But after a while, it starts to feel a little echo chambery,
Yeah.
and like I fully understand how, how neckbeards happen, for instance. Like
Yeah.
I fully understand how someone can slip down that slope because you go into a rabbit hole and you don't get out unless you intentionally try, right? And
Right.
so yeah, go outside and touch grass.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I have no clue if there's any science behind this at all because, sometimes people just say shit. But one of my family members tells me all the time, like, you have to go outside barefoot and put your feet on the grass. There's ions and it's good for you. And I was like, I don't know about that, but it does feel nice. So I will go do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's not hurting anybody. It does feel nice. I'm a little toesy, so sure, we'll try it. And I do think there's something intentional about stepping away from the devices. It's like the exact reason I actually got on the internet was because I didn't feel like I fit in my small town,
Yeah.
in my big city, I should say, in Atlanta. Like I struggled to find my people back then. Let's see, 2024. Like either you made friends in high school or you didn't have any friends, right? And so I really struggled making friends. I was even more introverted then than I am now, and more of like a nerd. And so I found my people on the internet, and it was like so freeing to me to be like, oh, I'm not weird. Like there's more people like me who like the things that I like. Like you want to dress up and go to a Comic-Con convention? Let's do it. You know what I mean? And so I found my people that way. But it's also the same reason now where I feel like I'm going out into the world, which is I found my people online, and sometimes it can feel so negative that I need to get around like people IRL.
Yeah, and I want to acknowledge too that we are doing an online podcast right now. And so there are huge benefits to the online space, and we love it. Like we would not be able to connect without the internet. And so I'm very grateful for it. It's just there's an and also there, like,
Yes.
where especially for those of us who have been more like who have been othered in various ways, whether it's like racial or neurotype or whatever, I think oftentimes we are seeking out people who are capable, like willing, capable, and excited to see the full version of us. And back when we were in high school, that was not IRL. You know, that was the internet. And now it feels like everybody's on the internet and people are not willing to see the full versions of people. So you have to go back to IRL. And,
Oh,
that's the vibe I'm getting.
yeah, that's so good. I think you've nailed something there. And I think it's like, as a society, we're still trying to find the balance.
Yeah.
Because even like, so I have a sister who's younger than me. She's not on social media. She thinks it's weird to like post stuff on social media. She's 19 now, 20, like Gen Z, right? So she's very much like, ew, you're doing what online? No, that's lame. And so it's like it feels like we're as a society trying to find the balance between, being connected in ways that we never were before in history, which is just magical to me. Like all of my favorite people I found on the internet. And also being connected in real life too. Like how, like what's the balance? What's the mix of all of that? I still feel like we're trying to find it.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, I have younger siblings too. And some of them, the ones who are closer to my age are on socials, but the youngest one is like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
It is so funny. I love it. Also, I want to point out, I want to shout out your therapist because of the number of times in this episode you've said and also, which is a huge therapeutic tool. Instead of but, we go with and I love that. So,
She's amazing. Literally can do no wrong. And the thing that I love about her too, like y'all find you a good therapist because this is probably the fourth or fifth one that I've had over the years.
oh
I've
yeah.
never had someone ask the best questions. She does not tell me what to do. And I feel like that's sometimes a default for therapy. And I feel like I'm a pretty like strong and convincing person. Like if you tell me what to do, my instinct is to be like, well, now I'm going to tell you all the reasons that I'm going to do what I want to do. And so then I would have therapists be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? And she just keeps me on track and just keeps asking me the best questions. Doesn't tell me anything. I tell myself because of the questions she asks. It's magical. Anyways, find you a good therapist.
Oh yeah. No, I have the complete opposite because when I have therapists who are like, I've had so many, they want to like ask me these self-directed questions and I'm like, girl, I already know like 90% of what's going on. I need you to tell me the 10%, please, dear God. Like,
Yeah, let's get past the journaling prompts. Like I don't need that. Like we need to get to the real, like I will tell you my whole life story and then you tell me what I need to hear.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like that's been so fun in therapy. Anytime I get a new therapist, they're always like, wow, you are very self-aware and very vulnerable and upfront. And I was like, yeah, we're through all those barriers. The last
Yes.
barrier is how do I actually do something about the problem?
Yes. Yes. How do I move forward? Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to close out with the question we ask everybody, which is what is one element of chaos that you are really loving in your business right now?
Yeah. Okay. I know I probably put something on the intake form, which I don't remember now, but
Well, good.
what I will say is there was a period of time where after I sold my agency, I was grieving like the loss of
Mm.
this. Like I owned the agency for 10 years at that point. And so I felt like the loss of like part of my identity. Like, I'm 36, so most of my adult life from 24 to 34, 35, whatever, was running this agency, right? So like it was a bit of an identity shift. But now that I'm on the other side of it, I'm really liking this solo entrepreneurship journey. Like when I had the agency, if I wanted to make a decision, we would, have a meeting. There'd be an agenda. There'd be like a project plan. And like we'd put all the tasks in Asana and we'd know what everyone's doing. Now I just wake up and I'm like, I want to do this today. Like I'm the only one responsible for this. So like pure chaos. And it means that sometimes things don't get done. I have a part-time assistant who works with me who helps me keep on track. But sometimes I just wake up and I'm like, this is the direction I want to go. And so like I'm in the middle right now of like absolute chaos that I've chosen for myself where I'm like, I just want to do something different. And it's really fun. Like, I'm going to be honest, it's really fun. If I made this decision when I had my team, it would be like a 6-month runway. And now I'm like, let's do it next month. Why not? You know what I mean? And so it feels fun in that way to be able to like throw the rule book out and just kind of follow my instincts a bit more. And it's chaos because there's so many moving pieces in a business, like launching a new thing that I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, but I'm having fun.
Oh my goodness. Yes. That's probably my favorite part of my business is that I can just do what I want when I want. And like anytime I've taken some like part-time VA work or I've picked up some freelance or whatever, the thing I always resent the most isn't the work. I don't mind doing the work. It's just I have to be on your timeline and I have to do it your way. And I hate that.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I feel like I'm so unemployable now. I mean, if I had to do it, I could do it. Don't get me
Sure.
wrong. Like I said, my kids come first. So if it's like comes down to like whether they get food or not, oh, I'm sucking it up and going to put on work at Taco Bell. I don't care. But at the same time, I have the privilege and I've worked really hard to get to this spot. So I'm gonna enjoy it. Life is short, you know? So yeah, chaos reigns.
Yes, I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time and sharing so much of your life and your business with us. We appreciate it so much. And where can people follow you? And is there anything you want to share with them before we leave? I'm so sorry, I almost forgot.
No, it's okay. You can find me at onlinedrea.com or anywhere on socials at onlinedrea. And I have a free social media reset challenge. If you're feeling like meh about social media, especially as a business owner, especially as a busy business owner, like take this. It's audio format too. You can like listen to it on your walk or while you're doing dishes. But it'll help you kind of reframe how you view social media and the role it plays in your business so that it's not kind of like this end all be all thing. So you can find that at you can find that at onlinedrea.com/reset.
Awesome. And I will put that in the show notes and the description as well. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here with us, and I will talk to you all next time.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you so much for listening, learning, and most importantly, implementing with us today. Go forth and take some big, messy action.